Welcome back, students. Welcome to biology classes. Today we are going to see 12th science biology, and we are going to see the next topics of chapter number 11, that is the biotechnology, and in that principles and processes. In the previous video we have covered the introductory part of this chapter, and today we are going to see about the different topics of relating to this chapter, and that is the construction of recombinant DNA. So what happens in the reconstruction of DNA? So here the first thing that comes is the plasmid, right? The plasmids are said to be the extra chromosomal DNA. The extra chromosomal DNA, they are circular in shape, right? And they are being isolated, right? So the isolation of the plasmid is being carried out, and the plasmid DNA, it acts as a vector. Now it acts as a vector means it is responsible for transferring or for taking the gene of interest, or for incorporating the gene of interest and then passing this gene of interest into the host organism. For this reason it is said to be what? A particular vector. So this plasmid, which are isolated from the bacteria or from organisms, this plasmids are being incorporated with the gene of interest, and it acts as a vector and it transfers the gene of interest to the host organism. Next is the plasmid DNA also contains genes and are also responsible for providing the antibiotic resistance to the bacteria. Now what it does is, this particular plasmid, it is containing several different types of genes, and amongst them one is gene is the antibiotic resistant genes. This antibiotic resistant gene is responsible for giving the resistance in accordance or amongst the antibiotics. Say for example, if the bacteria is containing the plasmid and this plasmid is containing the antibiotic resistance gene, right? So now if this bacteria are say for example, they are sent or they are kept in a medium which is containing the antibiotics, then this bacteria which is containing the particular antibiotic genes, right, this antibiotic genes which are present in it, they does not allow for the bacteria to die, right, because it is containing what? The plasmid, and the plasmid was containing what? The antibiotic resistant gene, right? For this reason the plasmids are very important and very helpful in the recombinant DNA technology, right? So this recombinant DNA technology is occurring through the particular uh, help of the plasmids, as well as it is also acting as a vector, right? So next is the plasmid DNA is cut with a specific restriction enzyme. So here what happens? The plasmid DNA is cut with the help of the molecular scissors, which are known as the restriction enzymes, right? This molecular scissors cut the DNA at a specific regions or specific sites. These specific regions or sites are known as palindromic sequences, right? Or we can say the recognition sequences. So this restriction enzymes, they are going to search for the recognition sequences and they bind to that region and cut the DNA, right? So the plasmid DNA is cut with the help of the molecular scissors, which are known as the restriction enzymes. Now this restriction enzymes are playing very important role in cutting the plasmid DNA, as well as also cutting the DNA of the host organism, or for example the gene of interest, in whichever organism the gene of interest is present, right? So the DNA of interest is hybridized with the plasmid with the help of DNA ligase to form a recombinant DNA. So for the formation of the recombinant DNA, what is needed? The hybridization should take place, and the hybridization takes place with the help of the plasmid, that is the plasmid DNA which is present, and the gene of interest which is incorporated inside it. So first the thing which is occurring is the cutting of the DNA, that is the plasmid DNA, as well as the gene of interest. Then the hybridization is carried out of the plasmid DNA with the gene of interest. So the plasmid DNA is containing what? The gene of interest. So after that, for the functioning of the DNA ligase occurs. That is the function of the DNA ligase. It does is that it joins the two separated, or it fills the gap between the two sequences, right? So what happens here? This DNA ligase is responsible for joining the two different cutted ends of the DNA. So now after the particular hybridization which is taking place of the plasmid DNA and the gene of interest, right? After that, the DNA ligase does the sealing, and then this particular recombinant DNA is being transferred to the host organism, where the replication machinery which is of the host body is carried out. Say for example, let's talk about the Escherichia coli, that is the E. coli, right? So this E. coli, the dividing time of this E. coli is what, 20 minutes. So what happens when the E. coli, when the plasmid DNA which is containing the gene of interest is transferred to the E. coli bacteria, the division or the replication takes place, right? And when the replication takes place every 20 minutes, what happened? The particular, the plasmid DNA which is containing the gene of interest, it is also been what, it is also been replicated. So when the replication takes place at every 20 minutes, what will happen? The particular the DNA or the gene of interest is being replicated. So it is, now we are getting so many number of copies of the replicated DNA, or we can say the gene of interest. Then what happens? The particular restriction enzymes, right? This restriction enzymes are of two types. First is the endonuclease and the second one is the exonuclease, right? Now when we are talking about the exo and endonuclease, we are looking at its sites to understand that at which places it is going to cut the DNA, right? So the endonucleases, it cuts the DNA at specific position within the DNA. So what happens in the endonucleases? It cuts the whole DNA sequence. That is, at specific sequences only, it cuts the whole DNA with the, along with the two of the strands, right? But when we are talking about the exonuclease, it only cuts the DNA at the two ends. That is either at the 5' or either at the 3', or either it can be occurred in a one single strand. So endonucleases, they do the restriction, or they do cut the DNA sequences at a specific locations, right? And when we are talking about the exonucleases, it cuts the DNA into the two ends, from the two ends, right? Now every restriction enzyme identifies different types of sequences. So there are so many different types of sequences which are present, and this restriction enzyme, they all are, there are around 900 restriction enzymes which are known, and this, all these enzymes are having, uh, they are identifying the different types of sequences of the DNA. So there are several sequences which are known as recognition sequences, and based upon this recognition sequences, what is this, what occurs? The whole cutting of the DNA is taking place. So it is a specific sequence of DNA which is composed of 6 base pairs, right? So here, this is the definition of the palindromic sequence, which is also known as the recognition sequences, right? So this recognition sequences are those specific sequences which are made up of 6 base pairs. So there will be presence of 6 base pairs in the recognition sequence, and this specific base sequence is called recognition sequence. Over 900 restriction enzymes have been isolated, and all of which recognize different sequences. So around 900 restriction enzymes are present, and all these enzymes are going to recognize or identify the different types of sequences in the medium. Next is the palindromic sequences, are the sequence of base pairs that read same both backward and forward. So here what happens, the palindromic sequence are those sequences in which what happens, they, even though if they start with the forward or even they start with the backward, it is been read in the same way. The example of this is, if you read Malayalam, right, that is starting from the Malayalam, then it will be the same, as well as if you read at the last, that is Malayalam, if you are starting with the backward side, then also it will be the same. So the sequences or the base pairs which are present inside this sequences are same if you read from the forward or the backward side. For this reason, this type of sequences are known as palindromic sequences, and this restriction enzymes cut a little away from the center of the palindromic site. So it will not cut from the center of the site, but it will cut slantly with lefting in between, right? So it will be cutting the DNA sequence from in between the palindromic sequence. So upon the cutting, it is going to produce ends which is known as sticky ends. As these are sticky ends, right, they are easily joined, easily can be joined with each other with the help of the DNA ligase, right? So here this DNA ligases are going to do uh, the filling of the gap which is present on between the plasmid DNA and the particular gene of interest, right? So the naming, next is the naming of the restriction enzyme. So how the naming is carried out. So there is presence of, let's take an example of EcoR1, right? The EcoR1 was the first to be discovered. This was the first restriction enzyme which was discovered, right? And this EcoR1, the E, the capital E stands for, the first letter stands for the genus of the organism. That is, let's take an example. It is been derived from the E. coli bacteria. For this reason, the first letter says about the genus of the organism, right? And that is the Escherichia, right? The second is the species, and that is the coli, right? So the second says about the species, and that is the coli. So the second and the third letter says about the species of the organism. The fourth letter says about the name of the strain, that is which strain is being used. So here eco, that is E stands for the Escherichia, that is the genus. Co, that stands for the species, that is the coli. And then the R, the capital R, says about the name of the strain of the organism, right? Or we can say the restriction enzyme. The fourth Roman number, right? The next is the Roman number that says about the order of the isolation, that is on which number is there of the isolation. As the EcoR1 was the first one to be isolated, for this reason it is having number 1, right? So EcoR1 is the restriction enzyme which was the first discovered, and this was derived from the bacteria E. coli, right? Next, here we have up till this we are keeping today's lecture, and I hope you are very clear with today's lecture, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.